Okay, we were just awaiting for Mr. Betty to join us, and then I guess Lucinda has a question for you about the training.
Oh, okay. I was just commenting. I think I was the one that completed everything.
Yes, I just looked you up and gave you credit in there. I like to give credit. Yes, thank you.
I try to do my due diligence as being a board member. So any of my license, anything that I need to do, I'm always checking, making sure I'm in compliance.
Great.
Kirby, you're on mute.
Okay, I just know there's Cody, and I think we have quorum now.
Okay.
Right, so you can start the recording, Lander. Okay, thank you. All right, I'll call the meeting to order at 6:08 p.m. And are you sharing the agenda, Nadine? Oh, yeah, I see it. Sorry. Right. Did you just want me to read the mission statement?
I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, did you want me to read it or?
Or show me the agenda, sorry. I don't know what's going on with my
Okay, there you go. The agenda is up.
okay. Okay, I'll do a roll call. Veronica she won't be joining us this evening due to emergency, so I'll be presiding the meeting this evening. And she asked me to, and she wanted to inform the have me inform the governing council members that she won't be able to join us this evening. So, and then Kirby Johnson here, Adam Begay, and I think Mr. Chado, I don't know if you want to repeat what Mr. Begay said earlier.
Yes, Mr. Begay asked to be excused. He's busy on travel and he won't be. He thought he could join us, but apparently he's having difficulty getting on. So, like I said, he's on travel, so it's probably hard for him to get on the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, all right. And then we have Cody Fetty.
Yes, present.
Okay, all right, thank you. And then Lucinda Kitsilboy.
I'm present.
All right, thank you. So with that, we have three board members here, or governing council members here. So then we'll go to B staff, Nadine Chado.
Yes, present.
Okay, and Charlotte Archuleta.
Present.
Okay. All right, then we'll go to C, opening comments. Governing council, are there any opening comments you wish to speak of? If not, I'll see if I can read the mission statement. Okay, Dream Dene is a place-based elementary school where the Dene Navajo culture Language and history are the foundation of a experiential curriculum. Through a dual language program, we will nurture strong, compassionate bilingual young people who are committed to their personal and community health, wellness, relationship, and progress. All right. Thank you, Nadine, for that. Okay, then we'll go to D, approve agenda. Did you just want me to read the whole agenda? Okay. So we have Dream Dene Charter School Governing Council meeting Monday, March 24th, 2025, 6 p.m. And then we have the Zoom information along with the login information. And then we have agenda A, call meeting to order, B, roll call, subsection A, governing council members, subsection B, staff. Then we have C, opening comments, D, approval of agenda, E, approval of minutes for February 24th, 2025. And then we have March 7th, 2025. Then we have F, public comments, limit time to 3 minutes. Then we have G, discussion and possible action items. A, mission statement review. B, Black Education Act, consequential. Is that how you say it? No one is.
The
Matrix.
consequence.
Consequence. Okay, consequence matrix, and amend in the student parent handbook. A C, outdoor equity field trip to Canyon de Chelly, April 17th, 2025. Then we have D, financial school board budget. I guess that's number 1, sorry. School financial report, revenues, expenditures by grants, revenues, streams, bank reconciliations, outstanding POs, and then we have 2, bars, journal entries. And then we have 3, budget update, approval, budget, salary schedules, calendar. Then we have 4, new grant for approvals, if any. Then we have E, governing council committees, 1, finance committee, 2, audit committee, 3, facilities committee, 4, governing council training. All returning governing council members need to complete 5 hours of training. Then we have A gentle reminder to all governing council members are required to complete 10 hours of training. Then we have H, facility land, and then we have I, student enrollment. Then we have J, head administrator principal. Then we have K, parent advisory committee. And then we have L, next governing council meeting, April 28th, 2025. And then we have other announcements, 1-day work session, March 28th, 2025, 9 to 4 p.m. Then Dream Dene step back to talking circle family and families and communities from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then we have, I have a hard time saying that one.
It's just the equine.
Equine presentation. Okay.
Right.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to butcher it. April 12th, 2025, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then we have M, closing comments, and then in adjournment. I did notice on the, was it you said April 28th was Navajo Sovereignty Day for the next governing council meeting? Is that correct?
Yeah, yes.
So might have to amend that one to change the date in the motion.
Okay.
All right, so that way. All right, there you have it, governing council members, the agenda read into the record. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda along with the, I guess, the next governing council meeting to a later date due to Navajo Sovereignty Day on April 28th?
This is Lucinda. I approve the agenda for tonight along with the possible change of the next governor council meeting on 4/28, which will probably be in a discussion when we get there.
All right, thank you, Lucinda. Do I have a second?
I can second that, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you, Cody. All right, with that, I'll call for the vote. Kirby Johnson in favor. Cody Fetty,
In favor.
okay, and Lucinda.
In favor.
All right, with that, I have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstain. The agenda is approved. And now we will go to opening comments. Oh, no, sorry. I'm going backwards. E, approval of minutes, board, governing council members. I'm pretty sure you did receive the minutes for February 24th and March 7th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
This is Lucinda. I approved the minutes from March 7th, 2025.
Okay, what about February also?
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, February as well.
Okay, all right. I have a motion by Lucinda. Do I have a second?
Yes, I can second that, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you, Cody. All right, are there any comments, questions on the minutes? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Kirby Johnson in favor, Cody Fetty,
In favor.
and Lucinda Kinstelboy.
In favor.
All right, thank you. With that, I have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstain. The minutes pass, and now we're on to F, public comments. Ms. Chato, do we have any public comments at this time?
Mr. Johnson, we don't have any submissions for public comment at this time. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not too sure if you want to have our guests maybe introduce herself or Mr. Berlin.
Is that me?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Nicola Davis with the Charter Schools Division, Technical Assistance and Training Department. I'm in Santa Fe, and I'm the one who tracks your training. I submit that request to Canvas, and I can answer any training questions. I can sometimes send like a link to the OMA, or if you're looking for something, I've been digging into statutes. If you're looking for something, sometimes you can ask me and I can try to send you that link. And thanks for all that you do. I always like to thank governing board members almost first for what you do for education. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Davis. All right, Mr. Berlin.
Hello, good evening. My name is Kevin Berlin. I'm here to put in an application for board member. So when that time comes in, I can probably expand more on that. But I just want to say yeah to everybody. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we will go to G, discussion and possible action items. A, mission statement review. Mr. Chato or who? Or, sorry, do I have a motion for A? I keep jumping ahead.
Can you bring up the agenda? I'm not sure what we're voting on.
Oh, I just need a motion so we can start the review process for the mission statement.
Okay.
And then,
Okay, I will motion to review the mission statement.
okay, do I have a second?
Yes, I can second that, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you, Cody. All right, with that, I have a motion and a second. Ms. Chato?
Okay, so back in last year of 2024, I believe it was February, we talked about changing our vision and mission, our mission statement. And we brought it to the community and had a very long discussion. As a matter of fact, we had NISN come in and work with us a little bit on it. And so our main goal right now is just to update it. We found that there were a lot of times when we talked about the mission statement that our kids didn't understand what it was. And according to, you know, our one of our major roles as far as being a charter school is that everybody understand what the mission statement is about. So we wanted to condense it. We wanted to make it shorter. But one of the things that came up during the time that we were looking at our mission statement was that we didn't have an academic piece on our mission statement. So we started talking a little bit more about it and talked with the community about it, what they thought would be ideal to be a part of the mission statement. So we condensed all of that. We brought it all together and kept reviewing for almost a year. We wanted to get this reviewed and revamped and updated by the time our reauthorization came up, but we never got a chance, and it just took a longer time. So these were the three options that we had. Number one, at Dream Dene Charter School, we blend academic achievement with Dene philosophy, history, and language to inspire strong, compassionate individuals dedicated to personal and community well-being. Number two was Dream Dene Charter School is committed to academic excellence and holistic growth through an experiential curriculum grounded in Dene philosophy, history, and language. And then number three, Dream Dene Charter School provides an experiential education rooted in Dene philosophy and language, empowering students to achieve academic success and contribute to their communities. These were the three options that we came up with. And like I said, it took a long time trying to figure out which sounded the best. We came up, I think we had 8 to begin with, and then we brought it down to 3. We gave this to the community. We took surveys. Our students took a vote. The community had input. They chose through surveys which one they preferred. And then we did it all on Google Docs and did the survey. The results were, we had 27 responses. And out of the 27 responses, if you see the blue, it's all parent, family, relatives that were part of the survey. 2 was community, the yellow was the community partners that contributed to the survey, and then the employees took up the red spot. These were all the people, I mean, this is just an idea of who took the survey. And then down at the bottom, the selection for the mission statement was the choice. Everybody preferred option 3. Whereas we had maybe 22 to 14%, 14% that wanted option 1, I'm sorry, and then option 2 was in the red. So these are the results that we have. I know our main objective today is just to review this. I sent this to everybody asking for input, and I believe we have Friday, we can look at this again if anybody has questions. Here's our chapter affiliations. When we talk about community, this is the chapters that we're talking about. And those out of the surveys, out of the chapter affiliations, we had 4 responses. One of them was from Hogback. The 2 green were from Shiprock and Red Mesa. And then the pink, I believe that is Cuddy-Eye. So that's where most of our information came from when it comes to the community. And out of the community selection, the 4 responses, 50% of those that responded from the community said they prefer option B. Options 2, I keep saying letters. And then 25% was option 1 and 2. So these are just the results. I just want everybody to understand that we're not making any changes right now. We just want to review what we got back, how this process was developed, and what we're going to be looking at again in the next month. I know two of our board members are not here, and we'd really like for them to take another look at this. We could probably discuss it again on Friday when we have our special meeting. Also, when we change the mission statement, I mean, whether or not we just do a little bit of change here, a little bit of change there, maybe a word change, we have to let the Public Charter Division know. So this is the beginning of that process. When we review this, I will send a document or a form stating what we talked about, what our justification is for wanting to change to the PEC, the Public Charter Commissioners, and they will just review it. And then the next time we meet again, then we'll make the selection and we'll move with creating a new or updating our vision mission, and then we let the PEC know again. So this is just the beginning process. I just want everybody to know this is the review process and what we've done and how we've made, how the selections have been made and how we did this through a survey. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shadow. Governing council members, are there any questions?
The only thing that I have is, I agree with revisiting our mission statements. I like all of them. My choice was number 3. I'm looking forward to Friday to more deeper discussion and making sure we choose the right one. But thank you, Miss Nadine.
Thank you, Lucinda. Cody, any questions or comments?
I don't have any questions or comments right now. Thank you. Mr. Johnson, you're muted.
Sorry. Ms. Shadow, I don't know if I misheard you. You said special meeting on Friday, or is that during the orientation thing? Sorry.
Oh, I mean, not the special meeting, the work session. The work
Okay.
session is coming up on Friday.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. I thought no special meeting. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the update, and it's always good to hear back from community members and our local constituents to see what type of framework they like to see in their school and what they. It's good to have their opinion, so they're a part of the process, so they don't feel they're left out. So thank you for that. Okay, since no other questions, I'll call for the vote then. Kirby Johnson in favor. Cody Fetty.
In favor, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you. And Lucinda.
I vote in favor.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, with that, I have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, and 0 abstain. Now we will go on to the next action item, which is Black Education Act. So would that be you, Ms. Shadow, again?
Oops.
Okay, with that, do I have a motion for this one? Sorry, is there a motion to hear this one? Sorry.
I can
Well,
motion that, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you, Cody.
And
All
I'll
right,
second that.
Okay, thank you, Lucinda. All right, you had the floor, Ms. Shadow.
Okay, let me share my screen again. Hold up. Okay, so now that we are a state charter, we are required to complete the Black Education Act plan. And one of the things that we were supposed to gather was to create a matrix, a consequence matrix. And this is what this is right here. If a student doesn't do what they're supposed to do, they get in trouble for it. You know, what are the steps to correct that? What kind of steps do we make, or how do we work together to make a correction on the behavior? So this was what we created. It's a matrix for being responsible, being respectful, and being ready. In the matrix, it also talks about what kinds of things that the students can do the first round if they're doing something wrong. We talk to them a little bit about apologizing. We want them to make sure that what their behavior is something that can be changed if, you know, given the guidance. It talks about when the expectation consequences happen. If they arrive at school and they're not behaving, then this is what happens next. What happens if they're in the restrooms, if they're misbehaving, what kind of consequences do they have to, or what's the steps that needs to happen in order to correct it? And then also here, the first offense is that you just give them a friendly reminder. The second one is they brought into the administrator and we discussed the plans, the changes that need to happen. And then the third is an internal suspension. So we don't want to send the kids home. We want them to be at the schools, because even though you've misbehaved, that doesn't mean you get to go home, so to speak. So we don't want them to go home. We want them to stay here. And then the classroom instruction, what happens in the classrooms when a routine sets, what are the kids expected to do? They have to bring all their necessary supplies, things that they need to work with. They have to arrive with a good attitude, and they have to arrive with an attitude of respect. And then what happens in the walkways, they have to know the rules that happen in the walkways. So being ready requires all of this and the consequences if they don't follow it. The next one is being respectful in the certain areas. What does it mean to be respectful in certain areas, and the consequences? Again, with being responsible, what does it mean to be responsible in the bathrooms? What does it mean to be responsible in the playgrounds? And then the consequences that follow. Did I confuse you all? Are you guys understand what I'm talking about? You guys are good? Okay, so
Yes, I'm good with it.
okay, so this is the matrix that we created, and we just want to make sure that our students are behaving in the way that they're supposed to be behaving. Sometimes when students are misbehaved, they don't mean to misbehave, like they'll say something to somebody that hurts their feelings. And that's what that Black Education Act is about, is correcting those words that hurt each other, or those making somebody feel isolated, or making somebody feel bad about themselves. Those are the things that we need to correct when we created this matrix, just being honest, being ready, being respectful. I don't have the, I'm gonna have to look for it, so let me stop right now. In the meantime, does anybody have any questions? No, I kind of went through that kind of fast.
Governing council members, any questions or comments?
I don't have any question. I think when we do our session on Friday, you can kind of go over that. We'll have a better, clear picture of it.
I have nothing to add. I do have a question though for Ms. Chato.
Go ahead, Mr. Fetty.
So the Black Education Act and the model that was created that you just showed to us, will we be going over that on Friday, and will we be just reviewing it as a board, or will we be adding to it?
Good question. We can do either or. If there's something in there that, you know, that you're more aware of and that's something that we could change, then we can do that at that time too. Like I said, as teachers, this is what we came up with. And I mean, the Dream Today staff, this is what we came up with. And of course, we want the board's approval. We want the board's input. So that's a good question, and that we will have that opportunity to do that. So in the student discipline bullying policy procedure handbook, this is where we added this part. Our discipline policy includes a clear definition of racial aggression, which is any behavior or language that targets or marginalizes individuals based on their race, ethnicity, or cultural background. And this type of aggression is unacceptable and will result in appropriate consequences, which may include, but are not limited to, restorative practices, disciplinary actions, and educational interventions. Our commitment is to maintain a respectful, inclusive environment where all individuals are treated with dignity and fairness. No school employee who in good faith reports any known or suspected violation of the school discipline policy or in good faith attempts to reinforce the policy shall be held liable for any civil damages as a result. Okay, that's an extra one. But anyway, this is the part that we added. Wanted to make sure that when we did the revision of the policy, this is the only part that had to be added to be in compliance with the Education Black Act. I mean, the Black Education Act. I fumble my words. Sorry about that. So this is what's added to the policy, and we'll be making a recommendation and maybe an approval for this as well. Thank you.
Okay.
I have
Thank you,
another question for Ms. Chado.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Petty.
The document that you just shared with us, is that shared in the shared Google Doc that we have available to us, or is it in this email that you sent on Friday, the GC meeting packet?
It's in the GC email packet, and it'll be added to the Google Drive when it's approved.
Okay. I'm not too sure if I'm seeing it. I do see 10 attachments, but the student discipline bullying policy procedure handbook, I
Mhm.
don't see that one.
Okay, I can share it again. So let me share it with. Oh, and Mr. Fetty, do you use your dreamtonnect.org?
Yes.
Okay, so I can add that again. Whoops. Can't spell today. There we go. Then I can share it with Veronica. Lucinda.
Yeah, everything else that you did share with us, it is in that email that you sent out on Friday with the 10 documents. I think the only one that I didn't see was just this one.
Okay. So I can share it again.
Sweet. Thank you.
Sorry, I probably missed that. Sorry about that.
It's
But this
okay.
is
It's like,
this is the student conduct section.
okay, cool. Yeah, I would like to read over that definitely.
Okay, thank you.
I just have one question, Ms. Chado.
Yes,
So before this even gets final approval, you'll have the attorneys overview this also?
yes. So when we approve it, the attorneys will look at it. I'll send it to them. They say yay or nay that we're within the verbiage or the language. And then we can send it back to us. That'll get sent back to us.
Okay, all right, so right now it's just in the draft phase, okay. Okay, and then the other, I'm pretty sure the other governing council members will probably have their input when they join us on Friday.
Yes.
So, are there any other comments, questions for Ms. Chado on this one? Governing council members?
No.
All right,
No further questions, Mr. Johnson.
all right, okay, so with that, I'll call for the vote. Kirby Johnson in favor, Cody Fetty.
In favor, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you. And Lucinda,
In favor.
All right, thank you so much. With that, I have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstain. And now we'll go to item number C, which is outdoor equity field trip to Canyon de Chelly. That sounds like fun. All right, do I have a motion for C?
Yes, I can motion, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you, Cody. Do I have a second?
I will second that, Cody. I mean, Kirby.
All right, thank you, Lucinda. All right, with that, Ms. Shadow, you have the floor.
Okay. On April 17th, it's coming up pretty quick here. We're planning to visit Canyon de Chelly, and this is the tentative schedule. We're still waiting on confirmation for a bus, but we have everything set up. We've talked with the Canyon de Chelly National Monument in the park. We're gonna have a Jeep tour, and then the kids are gonna have breakfast and lunch in certain areas. They're gonna have one of the rangers come out and talk to the students about what Canyon de Chelly is famous for, what kinds of things happen there. I believe we're even gonna have a storyteller there too as well. We have the outdoor equity grant that we received a couple of months ago, and in that grant, we specified a trip to Canyon de Chelly. We were gonna go to what's that? Chaco Canyon, but we got a lot of opposition because of some sacred areas there. So we decided to go ahead and go along with Canyon de Chelly. And usually when we have a field trip that goes outside a 50-mile radius of Shiprock, we have to have permission from the school board or from the governing council to allow us to go on this trip. So it's all paid for. All the staff members will be attending. I believe there are even some parents that are gonna be accompanying their students. And it's gonna be an early morning to a late evening. And this justifies our land-based learning and our plant-based learning, as well as our culture and our Dene language foundations. That's it. Thank you. Any questions?
I don't have any questions.
No questions from me also.
I don't have any questions, just a comment. I think it's really cool that Dreamed in It is going to Canyon de Chelly. The organization that I work for, we have a partnership with Canyon de Chelly. And the Navajo office has done the summer hiking club with a majority of Dene youth, and it sounds like the same experience of them going to Canyon de Chelly and getting that tour. If you have been in contact with Keith Lyons, he's a good resource at Canyon de Chelly. And I think he really enjoys when Native youth go out to Canyon de Chelly for the learning and the experience of that area, especially like the sacredness that's tied to the main attraction, which is Spider Rock. So it's definitely cool to hear that Dreamed in It is going on a trip there.
Thank you. And I believe our students and our parents already know about this, so they're pretty excited.
All right, well, I hope they have fun. Oh, that's a beautiful, the scenery and everything. Just seeing your backyard and it's so many miles away and you don't even see it out there. But yeah, all right. Since there are no more questions, I'll call for the vote. Kirby Johnson in favor. Cody,
In favor, Mr. Johnson.
okay, thank you. And Lucinda,
In favor, Mr. Johnson.
all right, thank you. With that, I have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstain. And now we'll go on to D, financial school budget reports.
Good
Is
evening,
there,
everybody.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, here's the report for February. We received 55,738.98 in revenue, which 26,777 was our employee retention credit that we received from the IRS, and 28,961.45 was our operational. Our February expenditures was 75,514.06, giving us a year-to-date revenue of 660,655.07, and the year-to-date expenditures of 641,355.49, which gave us a bank balance on February 28th of $141,052.14. This is the activity in the month of February. We didn't have any abnormal activity other than the ERC funding that we received. The bank reconciliation for February. These are the items that reconciled in the month of February. These are outstanding checks, and this one, the Quill, the office manager reached out to them, and so they said they never received the check, so the office manager reprinted the check and sent it out to them again. This is our GL detail and our bank reconciliation by fund. And this is our reconciliation showing 0 variance. These are revenue and expenditures by fund year to date. And here's the 660,655.07 for total revenue in all funds, and the 641,355.49 in total expenditures. This is the activity in the month of February by fund. We had a revenue total of 55,738.98 and expenditures of 75,514.06. Okay. Just stop me if you have any questions. We have a few journal entries. Can you see the journal entry? I want to make sure you see the journal entry.
Yes, we can.
Okay. This is budget maintenance, and this is to move money into our grants so that I can request reimbursement for a request for reimbursement for the cash. And this sheet 1 has the backup. So if you want to go into that later. Okay. And that's journal entry 15451. Then I have journal entry 15170. This was, we have rollover liabilities that roll over from the following year. And this was from the previous year, so I had to do a journal entry to move it out. Otherwise, it would throw off our GL by this amount. And this was for our SUITR, our state unemployment tax. And then here again is the backup. The next journal entry, 15403, this is also to reclassify for budget maintenance. And this was, I moved it out of the operational into Indian education and out of operational into our new outdoor learning grant. And I have one more journal entry. This is our client analysis bank service charge for February. This varies every month, so I can't set up the journal entry until I get the bank statement. So it was $56 for the month of February. And I don't have any bars, but we will have one next month. It's a large bar, and I'll explain it to you guys when we get it. Let's see, I believe, and we did have the outstanding purchase orders. And I sent this to everybody. So if you want a detail in the purchase order, this tab that says account code detail has a detail of each purchase order. But we didn't have any new POs. Any questions on the financials?
Charlotte, I have a question.
Yes.
Do we need to approve any journal entries?
Yeah, all four of the journal entries have to be approved.
Okay, I didn't get all the numbers. Can you put them in the chat? And then I can,
Sure.
yeah, and then I can put them on the minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. That's it then.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Archuleta. So this, I guess we're waiting for the big bar for next month.
Yes.
All right. With that, is there a motion to accept the financial?
Mr. Johnson, this is Lucinda. I'll go ahead and make that motion to accept the financial report and the journal entries.
Okay, thank you, Lucinda. Do I have a second?
Yes, I can second that, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you, Cody. All right, with that, I'll call for the vote. Kirby Johnson in favor. Cody,
In favor.
Lucinda.
In favor.
All right, with that, I have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstain. And now we'll go on to the next item.
So that is the budget update, and our budget for next year is due April 30th. And during the meeting, I need to ask the community or parents or whoever's on the meeting if they have any input for our budget. So Nadine and I are going to start building it. So we have to ask during a public meeting for input from the public. So, and if you don't know, if you don't have any ideas now what you want in the budget, you could email Nadine or myself or both of us, and we can work on trying to get that together. So I don't know if there is any public. So if there's public, if you have any input, please say it now. And so that it does include, we're going to be working on the calendar for next year and salary schedules and all of the budget documents. So that will need to be approved at the next board meeting.
Okay, so Ms. Chado, maybe on Friday, just kind of emphasize that to the other governing council members if they have any input on that, so they don't miss out on it. But thank you, Ms. Archuleta.
You're welcome.
Okay, so with that, we'll go to, I guess, governing council committees, but we don't have most of them online again, so I'm not too sure if Ms. Chado got any input on who wanted to be on any committees.
I believe we got everybody on a committee. For the finance committee, it was myself, Miss Archuleta, Mrs. Kitsili Boy, and Miss So. On the audit committee, I believe it was Mr. Adam Begay and Kirby Johnson, myself, and Miss Archuleta. And then on the facilities, we kind of just appointed Mr. Fetty and I believe it was Talaba, but Talaba's not with us, so we still have a vacancy for the facilities committee. So it's Mr. Fetty, myself, and yeah, I think it's just the two of us, unless Charlotte, I may be mistaken about that.
No, that's it.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So the finance committee was supposed to meet at 5:30 before the meeting, but we didn't get everybody on, so there was really not much to talk about, but we can revamp that and look at it again on Friday. The audit committee, I know we try to meet quarterly. Charlotte, I know the audit hasn't started yet. I think we're like at the beginning of it, so we'll talk more about that as the progression of our audit continues. And then for the facilities, usually Mr. Troy Hunt gives us an update on that. Oh, he's also on the facilities committee, so not much to report on today, Mr. Johnson. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So with that, we'll go to, I guess, J. No, sorry, I. The student enrollment, since Mr. Troy Hunt's not available for facility land.
Okay, and at that point too, I can go ahead and share my my report. Hold on, let me pull it back up. That's what I forgot to do. Okay, can you see it now? Can everybody see it?
No. Oh, there it goes. Now it's showing. Yes. Thank you.
Alrighty then, here we go. So this is the update and overview for Dream Journey Charter School. We currently have 17 students enrolled. We have been meeting with different Head Start programs. We have another one coming up on April 9th. Out of the meetings that we've had with the Head Start program, we've got two students that have already filled out their application for Dream Journey Charter School for next year. So we're looking forward to seeing our little kindergartners next year. We also have a ongoing recruiting effort that's taking place through the community. We are also working with KDND radio to announce our school and recruiting efforts. I'm not sure exactly when they're going to be able to put us on, but we haven't paid the bill yet. So we've got a couple of different organizations that are going to help with the payment for the radio announcement. So that's looking pretty good. Our Dene language and culture, we had our guest here, Mr. Kevin Boleyn. He came up on March 13th to our school and introduced the Navajo stick game and even gave us some cultural background about the significance of Navajo stick game. It was really fun. We had approximately 9 families that showed up, and they were all engaged. Our plant-based learning, again, we are trying to organize as many field trips as we can under this outdoor grant to visit several of of areas on Navajo Nation, mainly to explore the environmental systems, you know, how food is produced and what plants, what kinds of plants can grow in the area. So it's kind of like a little agricultural lesson. The outdoor equity grant supports our land-based learning. We're getting ready to visit Biddy Farms. I believe that's probably the next week after we come back from Canyon de Chelly. So we got a lot of farms that we're going to be visiting in the month of April. Our ACE program, they went to the Look Across the Mountain Sundance Conference with the parents, and we really got some really good feedback from that. Parents really enjoyed it. The students had opportunities to do a lot of the STEM science activities. A couple of students brought back some interesting projects. They did these projects within a day, and they were quite interesting. And then the parents got a chance to go to a couple of sessions that talk about science, and they also visited some sessions that talked a lot about how important it is for their students to be in school every day. So it's supporting our school as well, or schools across New Mexico, about the importance of attendance and grades and just trying to get kids involved in reading and writing. We also have a summer program coming up, the summer reading literacy program. Our school is part of the hub program. We're going to have quite a few students coming to our school to get the additional support in reading. It's mainly reading. There's no math this summer, but it is reading. And it's all being funded through New Mexico Public Education Department. Kirby, did you have your hand up?
I just wanted to know the acronym again for ACE. Sorry.
Oh, accessing choices in education.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. She was supposed to do the NWA middle of year assessments, and she was unable to join us today. So she is going to bring that to our attention on Friday. So she'll review that with the board on Friday. I also uploaded the iStation progress monitoring for the month of March, but this is a progression model. Yeah. So if you can see here, I'm trying to make it look bigger. Nope, it's not gonna work. So if you see the month of March, we have the test results. We have our reds. The idea again is to make sure that the red portion gets smaller and the green portion gets bigger as we move through the months. The top one is reading and the bottom one is math. So we're still having a little bit of problems with the math, but we're getting there. And if you see, we're not only looking at 15 students, I believe that's 15. We're looking more at a couple more students. Can you all see this? Is it?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay, it's not that big, right? It's not as big as I hoped it would be. I can't make my screen get any bigger. Anyway.
For me, I can see it. It's pretty,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not too sure about the other governing council members. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it, Ms. Chada.
Okay, I apologize. It might be just my computer, but anyway, so the green part is looking really good. As a matter of fact, we have one student who is at level 5. And if you notice across before then, like February on back to August 24th, we had only one in August that was pretty high in reading. And then we got our yellow is getting a little bit bigger, which means some of the ones in red are moving to yellow. So they're starting to get a little bit more proficient. But again, like I said, we want our green to be bigger. We want more of that graph to look green than red and yellow. So, and usually the yellows, like just at the tipping point, they're just ready to jump over to the green. So that's where our big focus is the majority of the time throughout from the middle of the year until the end of the year. We try to get our kids to move from yellow to green. And then our math, of course, it's a little bit challenging, but again, our red is getting smaller and our green is getting more. It's really nice to see. We have tutoring services, and I kind of contribute some of that to our tutoring services. We have tutoring Tuesdays and Thursdays. We concentrate on reading on Tuesday and concentrate on math on Thursdays. Right now, we have a total of 8 students currently receiving that support. The teachers usually, when we do PLCs, they look to see where the kids are at as far as their progress. And if we see that they need a little extra help, they reach out to the parents asking if they can leave their child for a couple hours for tutoring. And our parents are really receptive. They really enjoy hearing that, and they know that we care about their kids, so they'll usually agree to it. Our community and parent involvement, we have the PAC committee meetings. We had one on March 11th. Ms. Thomas and a couple of the other employees talked to the parents about the mission statement again. We gave an overview of what we're trying to do and, trying to strengthen our mission statement. We gave updates about the ACE program, talked a little bit about our capstone projects, what that's going to look like at the end of the school year. It's still being formulated, but we're getting further and further with it. We want to make sure that our parents have input as far as what they want to see and what they want their students to know by the time they go to the next grade level. So that's what the capstoning project's all about. Our leadership team, we continue to meet on Wednesdays. This is our sacred Wednesdays. We make sure that we all address certain needs as far as our students are concerned. And then we're going to start looking at things that we need to look at for the next school year. We had a meeting. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet with the public charter division on Friday, but they cleared us of everything. So I don't know if you remember, but we had some issues with our governing board membership, and we had to keep sending them information about how we've changed that and what corrections we have made with our memberships. And then they review it and they talk to us a little bit about it. And it's usually myself and the president, but this time there wasn't either of us. They went ahead and cleared us of all the concerns as far as membership. So we're good there. I'm kind of feeling good about that. The other thing is that we have to really try to get all our training in before the end of June. So all the trainings that we're supposed to have has to be completed by June. To conclude, we have a lot of things that we need to be thinking about for the next couple of months. We've got state testing in April. We have to continue to try to spend as much as we can on our outdoor equity grant. And we need to make sure that our mission statement is stable and will sustain us in the next couple of years. We want to make sure that our families and our students understand what that mission statement is about. Of course, I'm pretty sure you all know that our mission statement is where our strategic planning is going to develop from. So we want to make sure that that's really strengthened. We're going to continue to focus on our goals as far as development, our school development, because we are a state charter now. We have a lot of other compliances we have to follow. And we just want to make sure that we're supporting our families, our staff, and our community members. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Chatham,
Yes,
can you hear
Mr.
me?
Yeah.
Okay. I know for the training, I know they're going to be having that one day with the PED and embassy suites before the deadline of the training. I don't know if you want to announce that one too. I know Ms. Thomas sent that out earlier too.
Yes, there's going to be I think it's a 2-day training for
Yes.
for the governing council in June. So it's right before the end of June that we have to make sure that everybody's up to par on their training. And it's It's being held at the Embassy Suites in Albuquerque. And if we can, I don't know if they've got the registration open yet, but they usually let me know right away. Is Nikolai still online? She probably would know. No, she's not on.
She logged off. Yeah, she logged off.
Okay, so yeah, if we're falling behind or we need extra or we're just wanting to maybe get some clarification on some of the training that we have gone through, we can get that during the governing council charter conference. So I'll send that out. I'm pretty sure Andrea sent it out, but I can send it out again. I'll just make note of that. But thank you.
And yeah, they also have a free training that you can do virtually if you can't travel, and you can do that anytime. And I'll put the link in the chat for everybody.
That would be great. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank
And
you.
then the other thing, sorry, Miss Chada.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
With the tutoring services, I know that's pretty like we do that at Kintill Residential Campus. We try to tutor all our students that stay there. And so far their GPAs and everything, they're like way above because we had a tribal consultation with Doty, I think on Monday. And they were pretty impressed on how well our Kintill residential students are scoring out. So I think the tutoring does help. It's very it's a great support system to help our students succeed.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Well, we have been seeing some changes with our tutoring, so we just got to stay on it and make sure our kids are getting what they need. Thank you.
Governing council members, are there any other comments, questions?
This is Lucinda. I have no comments or no question.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Lucinda. Cody?
Yeah, there was a lot of things being shared. And I wanted to ask what was brought up about a meeting? Was it a meeting or a retreat that will be happening in Albuquerque? Is that what I heard?
Yes, it's the public charter conference. It's a summer conference, and it just pretty much just bringing all charter members, charter schools together and talking about things. They have different sessions that maybe concentrate on budget. Maybe they talk about um, transportation, or they'll come talk about all kinds of things that happen with charter schools. And the great thing is they have these meetings or these trainings for governing board members. So they'll have separate sessions and board members can go in there and do their training, be done with it. And then they'll get reported back to the PEC and we'll be in compliance with all our trainings. So it's basically everything come down to the end of the school year to get done for governing council and for just sharing information about different schools.
I see. Okay. And is it related to the online training that was shared out during when I got my email?
Yes, it's it's some of the training that you've got. Well, yeah, it is all the training that you have.
Okay.
The training online is an opportunity for those who can't make it to these conferences or who can't do in-person training, and it's free. So it's a plus plus for everybody if they can't travel and if they can't spend the extra money on training. So yeah, it's good. It's good. And it is available still. I believe Charlotte just put it in the chat. And then I can
Yes.
send it out again.
I
I'm
think that's another good resource that we can probably use to try to play catch up in case there are any governing council members that need that. But I know everything's always updating and changing with legislation and laws and
Okay. That was all the clarification I needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shadow.
You're welcome.
All right, now we'll go to the Parent Advisory Committee.
Mr. Johnson, there's nobody here who can speak to that, the Parent Advisory Committee.
Okay, all right, then we'll go to L. And I know that you did state in your prior email that this was during Navajo Nation Sovereignty Day. So I don't know if we should move this to Friday to discuss with the other governing council members to see if we can fit their schedule before we even set the date.
That sounds like a good idea. Thank you.
And then we have the Dream Danae Step Back Talking Circle. Is that also the same date or is that a different date?
Yes, that is a different, that's on a different day. That's April 5th. Sorry about that. I didn't put that on there. I think we were still up in the air about that, but it has been confirmed. And I did send everybody a flyer along with my report. So it does have the date on there. It's April 5th. It's on a Saturday.
Okay, all right, thank you for the clarification. And then you have the other one. I don't know if my other governing council members want to try to say that one in Navajo before I butcher it.
Okay, it's Hli Behnanelnish. It's the equine presentation with the horses. And this is through the NISN organization. And the host is the person who put this all together is Dr. Geneva Vicenti, and she's bringing it to Shiprock. I believe we're going to have this demonstration and this presentation on one of the farms up in Shiprock, Kyle Jim's farm. So it is on the flyer that I sent out. We also have it on the school website, so parents can sign up and register for it. We also have it on our social media, Class Dojo, announcing this. It's supposed to be a really good presentation. We had it last year with Dream Dine, that we had all the staff there, and it was an all-day event. We had a gentleman come out and talk to us about language, about Dine language, and then we went out and talked about the horses, and it was just really good because it really talks a lot about social emotional healing and how the horse demonstrates that, and just making a connection with nature was really phenomenal. So that's coming up on April 12th. I will be there. I believe we're expecting maybe, I would say, close to 25 families.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's like a equestrian kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah,
With horses.
yeah, the only thing is they're not going to be running and doing anything like that.
Jumping those poles. Just kidding. All right. Are there any other announcements, governing council members that you have?
No, not at this time.
Mr. Fetty?
Is that Sli Biz not nish? Not nish. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Is that open to governing council members as well?
Yes, it's open to anybody who
Oh,
wants to
okay.
check it out. Yeah, the community, the parents, the families, the staff, the board, anybody who's interested in wanting to know more about it, you're more than welcome.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a flyer at all? Or you said that it's on the social media website, right?
Right, right. It's on social media. It's on our website.
Okay.
There's a QR code at the bottom, and there's also I think it's a, a, a link to that you can click on and get to the registration. And the reason why they're doing registration is because they want to make sure that they have enough food for everybody. So they're going to be feeding you.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Chada.
Huh?
All right, thank you, Nadine. So with that, we'll go to M, closing comments. Governing council members, do you have any closing comments?
This is Lucinda. I just want to thank those that are part of the school, Nadine and Charlene and your staff, doing a good job. I've been asking people about Dene charter school and what they thought about it. And, I think you guys are doing a great job.
Okay, thank you, Lucinda. Mr. Fetty?
No questions. But thank you, Mr. Johnson, for facilitating the meeting today, and thank you, Ms. Chado, for just answering my questions and clarifying everything during the meeting. Yeah.
Thank you, Cody. And I just wanted to thank Ms. Chado and Charlotte and Mr. Berlin for joining us, for being our guests. And I just wanted to say you guys are doing a phenomenal job at Dream Dene, and hope to hear more positive reports from you guys. And thank you for everything. Okay, now we'll go to N, adjournment. Is there a motion for adjournment?
This is Lucinda. I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, thank you, Lucinda. Do I have a second?
Yes, I can second that, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you, Cody. All right, with that, I'll call for the vote. Kirby Johnson in favor. Cody?
In favor.
Lucinda?
In favor.
All right, with that, I have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstained. We are now adjourned at 7:23, and we shall see you all at the work session on Friday. Have a good rest of your evening. Thank you.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, Cody, see you Friday.